Welcome to One Girl in All the World, a Buffy the Vampire Slayer rewatch podcast where we recap each episode in order and discuss. I'm Ashley, Buffy superfan.
Kimmy, Buffy newbie.
You can find us on all major podcast apps, YouTube, and Instagram with new episodes on Tuesdays. All right, so you also had feelings about this episode, did you not?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like the episode at all?
I mean...
Oh, wow, okay.
It has moments.
Okay. I know you were, like, sick of Dawn.
Yeah, I liked everything but her, basically.
Okay, well, that's...
Okay. She just really got on my nerves.
You know, there's a lot of other stuff going on, too.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it was, like, yeah.
Bringing Harmony back was funny.
Mm-hmm. Love a good Harmony.
I did. And she was actually really good in this episode, so I'll give you that.
Okay. So we'll get into it.
Okay.
All right, so The Real Me was originally aired October 3rd, 2000. It was written by David Fury and directed by David Grossman. And the synopsis is, while Buffy and Giles heat up the training, Buffy and Dawn's sibling rivalry gets them into trouble when a new gang of vampires targets the Slayer. All right.
So this episode's called The Real Me.
Yeah.
Why is that? I don't really get that.
So, well, so there's kind of like two things I would say. One is that Harmony says it. She says, this is the real me. And she says real me, right? Yeah, I think Harmony says it. Okay. Like, this is the real me. And then there's the whole thing about these strange comments that Dawn is making.
Yeah, that's the other thing that gets on my nerves a lot. Her and her journaling.
Yeah. Because she says, oh, there's really going to be a surprise. She thinks I'm just her, like, boring nobody sister. She's in for a surprise is how it ends.
Yeah, is she like a vampire or something?
So it's like, what's going on there? And obviously we know she wasn't here 2 episodes ago. So obviously something's going on. So it's feeding into that.
Okay.
Like, mystery.
Okay.
So that's how I see it.
Okay. All right.
So we start off I put a gym because I don't think we ever see this place before. They're in some kind of gym.
Yeah.
Buffy and Giles, they're training. And this is actually one of the cooler trainings we've seen.
This was very cool. However, that was not Buffy doing the headstand.
Yeah. Okay. Saoirse Gellar does some of her own stunts because she does have like taekwondo training or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what her...
But I mean, I think most people can't do a headstand.
No, I mean, they have... Yeah, I mean, there's a whole host of stunt people on this show. Yeah, so they're kind of doing like a trance or like a hypnotizing training with crystals. And so Buffy goes into this handstand, one-armed handstand on a block of wood.
It's almost like she's meditating while she's doing it. Yeah. She has to focus and like...
And Giles is kind of walking her through it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see somebody put another crystal on top and the whole thing collapses. And Buffy just, bam! Eats
she falls over.
She falls.
Yeah. And who is it but little sister?
Who is it but Dawn, who's like, can we leave now?
Yeah.
And so that's how we get introduced to the episode. So go to the credits, we come back, and Dawn's in her room.
Journaling.
Writing in her diary. I wouldn't even know if I'd call it journaling. It's definitely a diary. I wondered if this was I'm sure it wasn't, but my mind did go to Michelle Trachtenberg, she was Harriet the Spy. And you know how Harriet the Spy had that notebook?
I didn't
You never saw that movie? Mm-mm. Okay. Yeah, so when she was a few years younger, she was in a movie called Harriet the Spy. I think it was like a series of books about this girl that spies on people.
Okay, yeah, but I just don't know anything.
And I think she has this book where she writes down all the secrets that she finds out because she spies on everybody. And it gets in her a lot of trouble. So I just was like, interesting little parallel there to another character that Michelle Trachtenberg played. So she's writing in her diary.
And she's jealous and she's bratty.
Yes, as many 14-year-olds are, to be honest.
They? I wasn't like that when I was 14. Were you? I can't imagine you being like that either at 14.
No,
honestly.
But I don't think it's uncommon.
Okay.
We're just too good for that, I guess.
Could you two shoes?
Is your sister older than you?
Yeah, she's 5 years older.
Oh, I was going to say.
So it's a similarity thing.
And I was going to say it's an older kid syndrome.
I guess Buffy would be... So yeah, my sister would have been 19 when I was 14. Yeah, and Buffy's about that? Or maybe she's 20?
She's like 18.
Yeah, no, I find this relationship so weird that they fight like this, to be honest. Like it's just so immature.
Well, I think part of it, from my perspective, is that Joyce is like sharing the parenting with Buffy,
yeah,
which
okay. I was
is
gonna
not
get into that.
appropriate.
That really bothered me. She's like, I
Yeah.
really need you to help me out here. I'm like, do you? You figure it out. You're the mom.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
have to go to work. Figure it out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll get into that more, but I think that's a big
That really bothered me.
Plays into it a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's writing a diary about how like it's so inconvenient and annoying having a Slayer as a sister. And she's still talking and complaining about Buffy while we see them having breakfast, and Dawn kind of uses the last of the milk and she steals Buffy's bowl and Buffy's trying to have breakfast. And yeah, Dawn is just complaining about Buffy. Yeah. And then we find out that Giles and Buffy are going to go to the magic box for supplies because they are, have this whole new training regiment that Buffy asked him basically for in the last episode. So they're going to go get some like books and like crystals and things. And Joyce is kind of like, well, you can't do that because you have to go take your sister to shop for back to school supplies.
Just stupid because Buffy does she still live at home right now or?
Okay, so I was trying to remember. I don't think she moves back into the dorms. I think she's just going to school and living at home now.
Okay, because like later on, I see Tara and Willow move in together, and I was like, wait, what?
I don't know if they're moving. I don't think they're moving. I can't even remember, to be honest with you.
They were unpacking boxes together in a
but they
place.
could be helping the other person move in.
All right. So Buffy. Okay.
Yeah, no, I know Tara is still in the same room.
Oh, okay.
Like that all black room, because we see it again.
Okay, so then Willow just moved into her own place by herself then?
Or she has another different roommate. I can't even remember if Buffy moves back in with her, to be honest. And we'll find out. Okay. Something I don't remember about the show. All right. Yeah, Joyce wants Buffy to take Dawn school supply shopping, which Buffy still doesn't drive. So was she gonna walk? Were they gonna walk there, or just make one of her friends take her, or make Giles take her?
Make Giles take them.
And so Giles can drop you guys off at the mall when you're done. And Buffy says, look what happened yesterday at my training. We can't have her around when I'm training. Like, we're trying to take this seriously.
I mean, this is basically Buffy's job.
Yeah.
Right? And Joyce isn't treating it like that.
No. Joyce is like, well, I have to go to my gallery, which is more important than saving the world. It's like, well, sorry, you shouldn't have had 2 kids then. Like, you need to figure out what to do with the younger kid.
Get a babysitter. Like,
yeah, you figure it out.
Have to do.
Yeah, you figure it out. Buffy shouldn't be a mom to Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So we see Riley come over and, they were supposed to hang out, but Buffy, forgot that she said. Forgot because now she's got Watcher. Yeah, she's going to bail on him because they have Watcher Slayer time. So he just says, okay, I'll see you later. So he leaves. And he does, obviously we see him see Dawn, and it's not like there's no surprise or anything like that. He's like, hey, kid. And she gets annoyed that he calls her kid.
Yeah, right.
So everybody seems to be
knowing who she is.
Just from, she's always been there. So in Giles' car, I love this scene. Giles has a new sporty car, because we know that in A New Man, that Spike wrecked his car, right, if you remember. Yeah, a new red convertible, and Dawn is in the back seat, being annoying.
Fiddling with the radio.
If I was Giles, I'd be like, Joyce, I can't be carting your other daughter around. We have to, it's important that we focus with your older daughter, and I'm her watcher. I'm not your younger daughter's watcher. So you need to figure out your stuff, because I can't be driving them around everywhere. Ugh. So they're going to the magic box. I have a book list of things, just different books they need to study. And Giles is having a hard time with this automatic transition.
Which is ridiculous because it's easier than a stick. Stop it.
Yeah, he just feels he says he's not contributing. So he just automatically starts trying to put it in gear. And it's interesting because Matt, we have in our car, you can kind of shift anyway, even though it's an automatic. And Matt will just do it anyway because he grew up driving an automatic. And I think there is something tactile about people.
You mean shift?
What did I say?
You said he grew up driving automatic.
Oh, no, yeah, yes.
Okay, he grew up driving shift.
He grew up driving stick shift.
Interesting. Oh, I didn't know that.
Because over there, it's way more common than an automatic. Over here, automatic's the default. Over there, stick shift is default. So I think there's something to that. When you grow up and you learn on a stick shift, which I didn't.
No.
And most Americans don't. Yeah, no. Most Americans don't. So he's I don't know if I'm going to keep this car. It seduced me. And And he starts telling Buffy starts like, I was going to hang out with Riley, but now I have to do this. And he says, we have to take this seriously. You can't let things get in the way. And there's not going to be time for like all this frivolous things you want to do. And then they see Tara and Willow walking the side of the road. And he's like, oh, they haven't seen my car yet. And he pulls over. Do as I say, not as I do, was Giles in this moment. So he's showing off his car to them.
Yeah, and then like Willow's like, oh, hey, Dawn. Like,
yeah, very like familiar and like seems like she really cares about Dawn.
Yeah.
And we do hear Dawn's voiceover that she's writing in her diary saying like how much she likes Willow.
She admires her. She looks up to her.
Good relationship. Yeah. And she loves that they do witchcraft and that she had talked to Joyce about wanting Tara and Willow to show her some stuff that they do. And Tara...
Joyce got weird about it,
having it, which is weird because last episode Joyce had no idea they were together, and now I guess she does.
Yeah,
so
she just doesn't want little Dawn to be a lesbian, which is weird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because I'm sure that's exactly what Willow and Tara would do in front of a 14-year-old. Is
it was weird. I don't know.
It was so weird,
stupid. So they are also going to the magic box. They're getting some back-ordered crystals, and let's see. I put news. Oh. So as they walk there, Buffy and Willow talk about Buffy's new work ethic that Willow is very much supportive of.
Of course she is, yes.
But she does not become supportive of the fact that because she has so much now more time focused on this training, she has to drop drama they were going to take together.
Well, it's like it's only 2 days a week. It's only Tuesdays and Thursday nights or something like that. Yeah. You can do that. Like you can fit that in. That's no problem.
She's like, you can like play hooky, and Giles was like, I'm right here. I can hear you. So, Willow was like, oh, man, like, that sucks. Like, what you did, you got to go do that to me. So they get up to the front of the magic box, and Tara notes that it's, like, dark. Like, maybe it's not open.
It looks weird. Yep.
Yeah, and so they open the door. It's unlocked, and the place is trashed.
Yeah, it's all ransacked.
Yeah, and Tara calls out the guy's name, and I don't even remember what
Mr.
it was.
Mr. Bogarty, I heard?
Mr. Bogarty, yeah. So Tara was like, I come here a lot. That's the owner. And then Willow walks in and trips over the body of Mr. Bogarty.
And so they're like, okay, well, Dawn's got to go outside.
Yes, go outside. We got a dead body emergency. And Buffy kind of sternly tells her to, like, wait out right outside the door while they see what the heck's going on. Mm-hmm. And while Dawn is out there waiting, some, like, crazy guy comes up to her and starts talking nonsense. Like, obviously this guy is mentally not there.
He says weird stuff and, like, something about cats.
Yeah. I think a lot of it's nonsense, but there are 2 things he says that are important. And when he says, like, Miss Curzon Way, if you remember that's the exact phrase that Faith used in the dream. Miss Curzon Way, counting down to the 730. Okay, so that ties into the 730 thing, the dream, restless, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So that ties in. And then he says, I know what you are.
Yeah, okay. That sounded interesting.
Mm-hmm. So important little tidbit there. Put in your pocket.
So she's not just little sister.
Yeah. And it was weird because this guy kind of gets a bit in her face and everything. And then all of a sudden she's just by herself. So I guess he just walked away. Because then Tara comes out of the building and Dawn's just sitting there.
Yeah.
And they kind of like commiserate together. Like, oh, we should let the Scoobies do their thing. And they're both kind of hanger-ons is kind of like how Tara's saying. And we should just wait out here while they do the Scooby thing. So back inside the magic box, they obviously say that like vamps killed him and more than one.
Yeah, it looks like they had a little vamp party. Yeah,
and books are missing, one of which is like History of the Slayer, which is one of the books that was on Buffy's list, so she's bummed that they took that. Giles is concerned that book's gone because obviously they...
Like, why is that?
Well, yeah, like want to know about Buffy. But as they're looking at the what do you call it? The ledger, I suppose, Giles notices how profitable the magic box is. And that is like really low overhead. And like, man, no wonder that these owners just keep popping up, even though they keep getting killed, which Buffy does mention. Yeah, like they don't last long. And he's just like very intrigued by like the location. Like he looks and see how much like profit this place was making. Yeah, Giles says that it's important for Buffy to try to find this lair. It looks like there's like a new vampire gang in town. Mm-hmm. So she says she's going to get Riley and they're going to go patrol. But then, you know, what's her name? Willow reminds her that, oh, you were on dawn duty.
Yeah. Also, they noticed that a 10-inch ceramic unicorn is missing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, who would want that piece of crap?
It's kind of weird.
And then we find out. In the next scene, we're in a lair, and Harmony is there. So we see Harmony again, and she has her little minions, her little crew.
Yeah, her little, her crew. Yep.
So the one that's Cyrus, we see this actor again.
Oh, okay. In the show.
Yes.
Okay.
So he was this character who obviously gets killed at the end. Yeah. And so they use him again later on for a very good character. Oh, I'll remind you when we see him.
Is it in this season or a different season?
It's not in this season.
Okay.
So, she says they have a plan, and when are they going to do the plan? And Harmony says tonight. We're going to kill the Slayer tonight.
Yeah, so, I'm curious to know why she wants to kill the Slayer. Like,
I just feel like every vampire wants to. Whether they have the guts to try is a different thing, but it's almost like catnip. Like, they want to kill the Slayer. And it's also, like, huge bragging rights, and of course you want to, like, take out someone that's sole purpose is to get rid of you.
Mm, okay.
So, especially if you live in the same town as them, because another Slayer can be called anywhere.
Yeah.
So it'd be great if they were on the other side of the earth, right?
Okay.
All right, so at Buffy's house, Joyce is, like, she's getting in trouble with Joyce, which I put is, like, super unfair. This whole conversation is very unfair.
She's chastising Buffy because they didn't even get the school supplies, and they ended up being at a murder scene.
Yeah, like, that was anything that Buffy could control.
That was their destination, obviously, a murder scene.
Yeah. And she basically says, oh, you just want to, like, offload her. That way you can go and Riley can go out. She's like, I have to go out. I'm working. Like, I have to patrol for this vampire gang.
I'm not going to a sock hop.
Yeah. I thought this was, like, stupid conversation. The way this conversation seems is, like, that Dawn is Buffy's child. Yeah. And she's trying to pawn her off on her grandma so she can go out. Like, no, this is your child, Joyce. So, and then Buffy says, okay, I can go if I get a babysitter. And then she's like, yes.
Also isn't fair, because that shouldn't be Buffy's responsibility.
No, it's not Buffy's responsibility. And the whole time in the background, Dawn's saying, I don't need a babysitter. I'm 14.
Well, also, like, did you need a babysitter at 14? I did not.
No, I think they're just overly protective because of, Sunnydale.
Okay. That's fair, I guess.
And obviously, by the end of this episode, I'm probably like, yeah, she does need a babysitter because she can't be trusted to do anything herself or keep herself even in the house when it's dangerous. Buffy suggests Xander, and Dawn is very okay with this idea.
Oh, she has a crush on him.
Yeah, so she changes into a little dress, and Xander comes over with a pizza, and she's like, oh,
that's cute. He's like, Dawn Patrol.
Dawn Patrol, yeah. And very, like, crushing on him for sure.
Love eyes.
He's very excited for him to come over and babysit her. And then, oops, not as cool. Anya's coming too, and she brings a lot of board games. So that's a bummer for Dawn. So Will and Tara, this is where they're in a dorm room unpacking.
They're unpacking. So I just assumed, okay.
I'm assuming it's Willow's because this doesn't look like Tara's place.
And this episode, so Tara's empathizing with Dawn because they have that outsider feeling, which is interesting, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just find her very annoying, but
I guess
I'm glad that somebody can empathize with her.
Yeah, and Tara's like, why can't we involve her? And like all the reasons
she's
that
14.
Willow, she's 14. Like, we don't want. Why would we want her involved? And then you have Tara, obviously, is like kind of self-reflecting here on her feelings about kind of being on the outskirts of the Scooby Gang, and Willow reassures her that she is part of the gang, and she's part of her life, and she's part of the gang, and everyone accepts that. And then she says that Buffy is happily looking out for her sister. And then we go to the graveyard where Riley and Buffy are patrolling, and she's just complaining incessantly about Dawn.
Well, Dawn's a baby. She's always around.
Yeah, she's the baby. And it's interesting here that, so Riley picks up that she's very tense about the domestic side of things, like her house, living at home and everything. So she says, like, Dawn has just been annoying her a lot lately. Mm-hmm. More than usual. And that it was interesting because she's like, basically, this all sums up to say that Dawn gets a childhood and she's acting like it's the biggest burden in the world. I didn't get a childhood. Like, sometimes I want to be taken care of and I want to be looked out for and not have the responsibility of the entire world on my shoulders, but I don't. And she just doesn't know what she has.
She takes it for granted, basically.
Takes it for granted. And Riley says, she looks up to you. You have college, a boyfriend, your superpowers. And that she doesn't understand all the sacrifices that come along with it. Because
exactly. It just looks like a glamorous.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that was a really good conversation, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Buffy is very much, they envy each other in a way, but they just comes out as being like fighting with each other.
Yeah. I mean, but that's all they have is like, sometimes I feel like you can envy somebody while still like admiring, I guess, like a healthy amount of envy, but theirs is just not healthy at all.
No. Yeah. They're on top of each other all the time, too. And Buffy's given way too much responsibility for Dawn, so that doesn't help give them like any less resentment.
Yeah.
Dawn's being pawned off on Buffy, but Buffy has to take care of Dawn. Like, no.
Yeah, that's true, too. Yeah. So it's not like they have a choice even. They're just like thrust together.
Yeah. So at Buffy's house, Dawn is saying basically the same thing. That Buffy gets her way. She gets everything she wants and all of this because she's like so special because she's a Slayer. And so Dawn, Xander, and Anya are playing Life. Did you ever play Life?
Yeah, I used to love that game when I was.
It's a good one.
Actually, I think Dawn's age, or maybe a little younger. Actually,
it's a good one. I haven't played it in forever.
Yeah, same.
When I was visiting my niece, we played Pretty Princess.
I don't think I played that one.
We played Mousetrap.
Oh, I used to love that one.
And we played this other one called Greedy Granny.
Never heard of it.
And it's like this like little thing of a grandma sitting in a chair, and you like pull the grandma back so she's sleeping. And then there's like all these treats on her tray. So then you roll the dice or spin the thing, and then you get a number, and you have to press the button and then take a treat. And if you win all your treats, like there's like 4, so there's two of each one. There's usually 2 people playing. And it's like, if you get them all, then you win. But you have to keep pressing it. So if you're the unlucky one that wakes her up, she like shoots up and it's like, ah! And it's actually, first time it happened, I screamed. It's actually pretty creepy.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was really funny, actually. Oh. So yeah, look up Greedy Granny. It's crazy. It's a crazy little game. Anyway, they're playing Life.
And Anya's winning.
Yeah, but she thinks
she wants to exchange her children for money. I get it.
Yeah, she has all these like kids and all this money, and she's like, I'm losing, obviously. And Xander has to explain to her that no, you're winning. That having all this cash is good. And then she's like her mood totally changes. She's like, oh, I'm so pleased. Can I trade these children in for more cash? Which I loved. And then a brick gets thrown through the window.
Yeah.
And there's a note tied to it which says, Slayer, come out and die.
That's so, yeah, that's straight to the point.
And it's like, those ladies is written in like red lipstick. Harmony's red lipstick. So then we go to like the front door where Harmony and her crew are talking to Dawn, Anya, and Xander through the door. Obviously, they can't come in.
Yeah.
And Xander and Harmony have this relationship where they just like fight constantly and bicker with each other.
Yeah. And
so they're just throwing barbs at each other. Xander is laughing that she has minions, and he's like, she's like being like, you're pathetic, and all that. It's just, they're funny. They're really two funny characters.
And they dig at each other. They're kind of mean.
They are mean at each other. And then Dawn says, the first she's like, of course, he's like, oh, Buffy's not here. Well, she has to be here. I keep calling her out. She's like, Buffy's not home. And then Dawn says, like, she says something mean to Xander, and she says, why don't you just come in here and say that?
Yeah, why would you even think to say that?
Everyone's like, no, slow motion. What are you doing? So, of course,
that was really dumb.
Harmony jumps right through the door.
Attack Xander.
And so everybody's fighting for a while, and then basically Xander's able to kick Harmony out of the house, and they close the door and lock it. But now the damage has been done because now Harmony can come into the house
whenever she wants.
Now she can come out. And I like when the door closes, Xander's like, Buffy's not going to be happy about this. Like, no.
And then the next scene, though, Buffy's like laughing her head off because she's like, she has minions. Like,
Harmony came to kill me.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. She's like, this is pathetic. And then, Anya spills the beans about her being able to come into the house anytime she wants.
And Buffy's like, well, that's weird. Like, how did she... no, you guys can't invite her in. And then she's like, only an owner of the house can invite her in.
Yeah. So she knows immediately it's Dawn and is pissed, pissed off. And Xander does try to defend her, saying it was an accident, like things like this happen, and Buffy's just not hearing it, not having
she's
it.
like, only things like this happen with Dawn.
Mm-hmm. So on the street, Harmony's walking away complaining about how this plan isn't working, and they run into Spike because Spike's like, oh, vampires, I'm just going to kill you guys because I just want to. And Harmony and Spike kind of catch up a little bit. But Harmony fills Spike in on that she's gonna kill the Slayer. She's been working on herself and reading books, and she's just a new person now. And he says, "Oh yeah, what's your plan? Steal her friends, made them as bait and lure her into a trap." And Harmony's like, "No, it's better than that, but I'm not gonna tell you what it is." And then when Spike leaves, she's like, "New plan." Actually, that is better than the plan I had, to just throw a rock through a window and tell her to come outside and kill her.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Harmony's not super smart.
No. So yeah, she's gonna upgrade to this plan that everybody's tried 1,000 times, and it's not worked. So in Buffy's room, she's gathering a bunch of weapons to go after Harmony, and again complaining to Riley and Xander about Dawn, and she's really annoyed. And they bring up the literally last week, your mom invited Dracula into the house. So everybody slips up. Yep. And Buffy's like, well, that's different. She didn't know he was a vampire and she's lonely and all this. So it's really just getting on Dawn's case.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, Dawn's overhearing it too. And she's
in the hallway.
And Buffy's like, she's going to get us all killed. That's.
Yeah. We're turning her into an idiot that's going to get us all killed.
Yeah.
That is harsh. And of course that upsets Dawn and she runs downstairs.
Yep.
And she tries to leave the house. She does leave the house. And Anya's trying to stop her because she knows that this vampire gang's, waiting in the wings somewhere. And she kind of is fighting back with Anya. And then, of course, Mort, who is that big lackey that Harmony has, grabs her and just pushes Anya. And she, hits her head really bad.
Yeah, pretty hard.
And knocks her out.
And he grabs Dawn.
He grabs Dawn and takes off. Good job, Dawn. Good job.
Dumb.
So back in Harmony's lair, they have Dawn, and they're all kind of talking about, we want to eat her. And Harmony says that's not the plan. They're like, well, it doesn't matter what the plan is because as long as Buffy thinks we have her alive, she'll come, and then she falls into the trap either way. So
it's true, actually.
It is true. But Harmony's like, but that's not the plan. So we have to keep her alive. And they're very annoyed.
They're starting to get over her.
Yeah, there's a mutiny afoot, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So in Spike's lair, Buffy basically comes in and beats Spike up until he tells her where he thinks that Harmony is. Because they had this cave that they used to frequent and stuff, and he thinks that's probably a good place that she was hanging out. So then she punches him again. And leaves. Punches him for good measure.
Tell me or I'll punch you. And then he tells her and then she punches him anyway.
Yeah, he's like, I was telling the truth. She's like, I know. I just wanted to punch you again. And so she's off to Harmony's lair. This is a funny scene or a little shot, really, when Harmony is complaining to Dawn about her, lackeys.
Yeah.
And Dawn's like, yeah, I could kind of, I can relate to some of the things that you're saying. And so the gang comes in and they are, there's a mutiny.
They're like, no. So
they're going to dethrone Harmony. They're going to eat Dawn and kill Harmony.
Yeah.
It's they are done taking their kicks from Harmony.
Yeah.
And so at this time, Buffy shows up and starts slaying.
Well, first though, because I think Buffy's coming in, but Harmony, does she run off at this point yet? No, not yet. But she's like, so Dawn's like, touch me, my sister's going to kill you. And then one of them pokes her, and then nothing happens, so he starts laughing, and then he gets staked.
Yeah. Buffy's like, she
good.
speaks the truth. Yeah,
that was a good touch.
She can't say she didn't warn you. Yeah, that was cute. So Mort, she basically takes the other two out pretty easily, but Mort is a big guy, so that fight goes on a while, and while that fight's happening, Harmony's like, I'm just gonna step out. I'm just gonna step out while you guys handle this, and she runs off. And I put an asterisk by this because this is going to be a staking to remember at the end of season 5.
I put creative kill. I made a box around it.
Yeah. So of course we know that Harmony loves unicorns, so she picks up this big unicorn. Of course, it has the horn, and she stakes Mort with the big unicorn horn.
That was pretty good.
I loved that. That was fun. I loved it because, we know Harmony loves unicorns.
Well, she backflips off of him first.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the whole scene was actually a pretty good scene. Yeah.
Oh, good. And then as Buffy is untying or unchaining Dawn, she's like, you're going to be in so much trouble. Oh, I forgot to mention, too, that Anya, they said that she had a pretty bad heart. We've skipped over that. When they found Anya, she told them that, she was taken. She obviously has a head injury, so they take her to the hospital, and Buffy runs off. Yeah, we forgot about that little tidbit. All right, so at Buffy's house, they get home, and Joyce comes home from her gallery, like whatever event they were having there, and she asks how things went, and Buffy does cover for Dawn.
Yeah.
Does nothing. Got the vampires, and we watched some TV.
Yep.
Because, can you imagine if Joyce found out all that stuff that Dawn did? It would be nuts.
Well, also, I think even if she found out that Dawn did it, she'd somehow pin it on Buffy.
But you know what? Probably. Because
the way
that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. So then we go to the magic box. So Buffy's babysitting Dawn again because they're talking about, they're just doing Watcher Slayer stuff and everything, and Dawn's sitting there writing in her journal. But we find out that Giles has taken over the magic box. So now he's the new owner of the magic box.
Exciting. Now he has a purpose again.
Yeah, and I love
besides being a Watcher.
I love this set. It's a fun set.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of fun things happen here. So I'm excited that magic box is going to be seen a lot more now. And he says there's probably a room for a training area in the back.
Yeah.
Which is very convenient.
Yeah.
Very convenient. He's like, it will also keep you guys out of my flat. It's showing up at my house all the time. And Buffy says, wow, how bored were you last year that this is all coming now? And he says, I watched Passions with Spike.
Oh, yeah.
We'll never mention, let's say no more.
That was funny, yeah.
Don't hate on Passions, Giles. It was good. She just keeps telling Dawn not to move. Don't look at anything. Don't break anything.
And Dawn's just sitting there writing in her little book, and she's saying that Buffy's in for a surprise.
She thinks I'm still her nobody little sister, but she's in for a surprise, which is
we'll see.
What does that mean?
I'm not convinced.
I don't know. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. All right. And we kind of leave it on that kind of weird ... moment. All right. So my favorite quote was when Anya says, can I trade in the children for more cash?
That is a very good quote. Yes. Okay.
And then I said my favorite scene was when Buffy, Giles, and Dawn were in the car. Because I thought it was funny. But as we talked about it, I actually think that conversation with Buffy and Riley in the graveyard was, I think I might change my answer to that.
Okay.
Because that revealed a lot about Buffy's frustrations with Dawn.
Yep. That
really don't have all to do with just what Dawn does. Yeah. Dawn has a life that Buffy wishes she had. Like a normal. Yeah. Buffy just loves how she laments not being normal.
Yeah.
So, Then, she was just born a little bit different time, different birth order. Maybe she wouldn't have been the Slayer. Yeah. So I'm going to actually change my answer and go with that.
Okay. I had more than one favorite line, so I'm going to read all the lines that I thought were really good.
Okay.
When at the very beginning of the episode, when Riley shows up at Joyce's house, and he says, I don't remember what he says, and then Buffy's like, what? Or something, and then he's like, I'm here to violate your firstborn. Doesn't go over well.
Yeah, so he says, nice outfit.
Oh, that's
something,
what
your outfit to Joyce, and she walks away, and he's like, and then Buffy says, suck up.
Yeah.
And he says, oh, well, I'm here to violate your firstborn. Doesn't usually go over well.
I like that. Good. And then also when one of Harmony's lackeys gives her the unicorn, they call him Sire Whipped. That was funny.
Yeah.
I like that.
He's you feel bad for standing me up in the 10th grade because that's somebody they went to school with.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever met him, but Xander recognized him too. Yeah.
And then when Harmony was talking about reading books and Spike was like, what, Evil for Dummies? That was really funny.
Evil for Dummies. Yeah.
Evil for Dummies. And then my favorite scene was actually the fight scene at the end. I thought that was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was just funny when Dawn's like, touch me, my sister's going to kill you. And then the whole thing everything after that was just great.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. And that staking with the unicorn was chef's kiss. So my state rating, I gave it a 4.2 out of 5.
Generous. Okay.
I didn't think it was that bad. It was heavy on the complaining. Heavy
and just
on both sides.
Heavy on Dawn being annoying. It just got on my nerves too much.
It was, yes.
Yep.
That definitely took a chunk out of my rating for sure.
Yep.
I thought it was good to see Harmony back, like you mentioned. Yeah. She's a fun character.
She is.
And she has, her and Spike stuff's always funny. Her and Xander stuff's always funny. So we got both of those, which was fun.
That was good.
And then, what the heck? Dawn something. Oh, it kind of added to like the Dawn mystery a little bit with her writing some cryptic things in her diary. So, we're still wondering what the heck is up with her. And it's kind of adding a little bit of a layer to that in this episode. And big thing, Giles takes over the magic box.
Oh, yeah.
And I love the magic box. It's one of my favorite sets in the show. And
good. Yeah.
It's a beloved place for this Buffyverse. So we're finally like, we've stopped in there for years, and we've been in there every time a owner's been killed or we need to go to do a spell or whatever. So now it's like actually part of this like Scooby Gang's territory. So I'm happy for Giles and love the magic box. Yeah.
Okay. I gave it a 3.8. Just because Dawn just got on my nerves way too much. I don't know.
She does that.
Yeah. I want to say that like the parts where they're trying to entice you out, where she's like, I'm not what you think I am type stuff, should like draw me in more. Like just because of the amount of annoying stuff she did, it didn't entice me. It didn't make me curious. Like it just made me, I don't know, not more annoyed, but I was just like, meh. But I did really I liked Harmony coming back. That was really good. Yeah, her and Spike, that was hilarious. Even Buffy just punching Spike. Like, that's great. Yeah. And yeah, I did like the part, you're right, where Riley and Buffy were kind of talking, and like we do kind of understand that Buffy does crave like a normal life and it's not really fair. And just to have someone near her take it for granted so much is just, that's like a lot. Giles's car was great. I love that. I liked seeing Tara more. That was good too. And then, the magic shop. I really like Giles taking it over, like, especially just because like it is going to help give him more of that sense of purpose. So that's a hard thing when you feel like you're missing that from your life. It can really affect you. So having him getting back into being a watcher and more active watcher, I guess, and then just taking over the magic shop is going to be good for him.
And something that's interesting, because Dawn is like always annoyed me. So don't think that's going to change. But the thing is, it was interesting because when they cast her, or when they were trying to cast her, they wanted a 12-year-old. But Sarah Michelle Gellar had known Michelle Trachtenberg, and she kind of like recommended her, like, take a look at this girl. But she was already 14. So they aged her up, but some of the scripts were still kind of written in like a 12-year-old-y kind of way.
Okay, honestly, if she was a 12-year-old, would make way more sense to me.
Yeah, so I think that was a bit of a hiccup with the script writing. Okay. That they didn't age up some of her dialogue and stuff. They should have just
said she was 12, and I would have been like, okay.
Yeah, so that was a bit of an issue, and I think it made Dawn way more annoying because she's 2 years older than she's supposed to be.
Okay, that makes some sense actually.
So that's interesting, and I honestly think it was a really bad mistake because it makes Dawn very unlikable.
It does, because I mean, I feel like when you're 14, you're getting into that teenage moodiness, which I get, but you're also getting some maturity. Where at 12, you're not really getting that maturity. You're not having that emotional self-awareness that you're starting to get at 14. So, okay, that actually makes some sense.
So I wish they would have thought that through.
And having them at a bigger age gap would make sense for more like headbutting and stuff too. Yeah. Okay, interesting.
So just FYI.
That's something. That's that does help. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So for your next episode,
the replacement. What's my question? I got this week's question wrong. So.
Oh, wait, what was it again? Oh, what gets stolen from the magic box?
I said like potion
ingredients for a potion. Yeah.
And I missed books and a unicorn. Wouldn't have guessed the unicorn. Maybe I could have guessed books though.
Yeah. Which character gets doubled? Yeah. So basically, I mean, it's not a clone, but basically cloned. One character gets doubled.
Well, let's go with the new kid, Dawn.
Okay. Alrighty.
I don't know. Okay.
We thought one Dawn was bad.
I know. Yeah, exactly. It's called the replacement. Interesting.
2 Dawns would be even worse.
Yeah, doubly worse. Terrible. Might make me hate the episode.
So that wraps up Season 5, Episode 2, The Real Me. Again, you can find us on all major podcast apps and YouTube and Instagram at One Girl in All the World Pod. You can also email us at onegirlpod@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back next week with Season 5, Episode 3, The Replacement. See you real soon.
Bye.